Hi, this is Chaplain Gary Swain from SGM Broadcasting, located in Marshtown, New Jersey. You're listening to us tonight courtesy of Spreaker.com. We're bringing to your doorstep what we call on-demand radio that you can control when and where you're listening. Online at Spreaker.com, on your cell phone, or download our convenient podcast to your favorite mp3 player. SGM Broadcasting is your source for Christian business news, the local gospel music connection featuring area artists, and our weekly Journey of Faith, an inspiration message with local pastors. You can be sure to know when new broadcasts are published by joining our Facebook page at Gary Swain at Facebook.com. Please join our broadcast now in session. You can be sure to know when new broadcasts are published by joining our Facebook page at Gary Swain at Facebook.com. We're not your granddad's radio station anymore. We're not just local. We're anywhere. Please join our broadcast now in session, the radio broadcast that you can take anywhere. Good morning, America. Good Saturday morning. This is America Loves Coupons. Friends, this is your host and sound engineer, Gary Swain from WSGM Broadcasting, ROD, which stands for Radio On Demand. Okay, I know this is a podcast, but I still remember my radio days, and I can't quite get used to calling this a podcast. Our program is brought to you by America Loves Coupons. Please take a moment and look for the savings coupons on our website. That is at www.alcoupons.us, where you'll find local merchant coupons for Cumberland, Gloucester, and Cape May counties. Our program name is Clippin' Coupons, South Jersey style, where we discuss money-saving ideas as well as interview South Jersey merchants who want to do business with you on a regular basis. In addition, we'll tell you about merchants who have new coupon offers this week, as well as where to get and print your own coupons. Tonight we will be discussing three subjects. First of all, on our next segment, our third segment in gardening, my son Aaron Swain, our co-host, is going to be talking tonight about healing gardens.
Hello, everyone. I've been waiting and pulling together a lot of information as far as the healing gardens. It's something that I'm certainly excited about, and also planting in my own yard.
Now, Aaron, if you will, just give them a brief recap on what you talked about last week, and then how we ended up getting into a healing garden this week.
Well, we were talking about our victory garden last week and what to expect when you're planting fruits and vegetables. You can also landscape with those fruit and vegetables as well. I thought it would be awesome as we're designing our gardens for our yard to produce fruits and vegetables. We also take into consideration that we can also landscape with fruits and vegetables, and we can also consider a healing garden that includes fruits and vegetables as part of our senses that can both boost taste and smell.
And then I'm going to do tonight with Aaron interviewing me. We thought it might be pertinent. We talk about coupons every week, but we also have that coupon book. We're going to do a segment tonight on why merchants should participate in coupons. Together, Aaron and I will discuss that. And then finally, we're going to have our feature merchants of the week and discuss where you can get some excellent deals on the coupon book this week. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers rely on RE Combines, and you should too. RE Combines is one of this area's oldest E.P. Henry authorized hardscaping distributors, with award-winning services such as on-site delivery, placement of products right where you need them, E.P. Henry do-it-yourself seminars, and contractor seminars too. Design imaging and special discounted bank financing. See our 5,500 square foot Idea Center with sample patios, walkways, and wall systems, just to name a few. For your convenience, R.E. Cummings is open 7 to 5 Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. We are conveniently located at the corner of West Chestnut Avenue, Vineland. For information or to place an order, call 691-4040. That's 691-4040. R.E. Cummings for all your commercial and residential hardscaping needs. Located at 67 West Chestnut Avenue in Vineland. R.E. Cummings invites you to stop by and take a look at their hardscaping paradise. R.E. Cummings is also offering a complete line of cleaners and sealers to maintain the beauty of your hardscaping paradise. Stop in soon at R.E. Cummings, 67 West Chestnut Avenue in Vineland, or call 691-4040. That was 691-4040. All right, folks, we're back here with Aaron Swain, and we're talking about healing gardens tonight. Aaron, what is a healing garden?
A healing garden, the term is typically used in healthcare facilities, and what it's designed to is it's meant to relieve symptoms from either stress, and it also helps boost overall happiness and self-esteem in its clients.
Are there different types of healing gardens, Aaron?
Well, I don't want to say that there's different types of healing gardens, but as far as a design layout, sometimes they borrow from, say, feng shui or a Zen type of garden. But in most cases, a healing garden is all the same idea and design.
How can our listeners create their own healing gardens in their homes, Aaron?
When one of our listeners is thinking about designing a healing garden at home, it can be as simple as a few potted plants on your front balcony or your front porch. Those plants can include peppermint and thyme for the senses, and also you can just do something simple as hanging strawberries in a potted plant, and hummingbird feeders to include your senses of sight and sound.
Now, based on your research on healing gardens, is there any certain size, that is like the best sized in order to get the most healing out of?
From all the research I've done, I have yet to find a size that they recommend. I believe it's all according to the space that you have available. I believe that many people will find healing properties in a very small garden that would include a very small water pond or a water feature such as a waterfall, or there's even little rocks that creep water out that are meant to be added to like a dry riverbed, which would take up the area of 1 foot by 1 foot, and just the sound and the sight of that water has calming benefits.
Now, is there any scientific proof that a healing garden can actually have healing properties, Aaron?
There are two doctors that are deep in the study on that. There's been different studies conducted. There has to be certainly many more studies conducted. One was actually conducted on gallbladder removal, and they found that half the room that actually had access to viewing the outside gardens compared to the other half of the room that had no outside access to the garden actually healed up to a week faster. Each individual, they had less nurse calls, they slept more hours, and they seemed that they were overall in more peace with their post-surgery procedure compared to the side that had no access to the garden or couldn't visually see the garden.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on what type of plants you might find in a healing garden?
Yes, there's certainly themes in plants. We want to include our sense of sight, our sense of touch, and our sense of smell. So for our sense of smell, a lot of times herbs are planted along with certain flowers as well. Like chocolate cosmos gives you the scent of chocolate. Chocolate has a way of boosting our happiness. So even just the scent of that chocolate has a way of boosting our serotonin levels. As far as peppermint and thyme, very strong. Most people enjoy the smell of peppermint or spearmint, and thyme as well. So they're often planted in and around the garden. Creeping thyme is actually a form of the herb thyme that is it's a tough plant, so you can actually put creeping time on your in between your pavers, your stepping rocks that you can actually step on, brush, and that'll release the oils and the scents of that certain plant.
Another thing that you mentioned a few minutes ago, what are the sounds of a healing garden?
So a lot of the elements that we want to have in play for sound in our healing garden is wood and metal. So a lot of times wood and metal we would feature in a wood or metal featured wind chime, and water is a element that we certainly want in our garden, that late rushing of water, and also we want rustling of leaves. So oftentimes bamboo is planted for the rustling of the leaves, and also the sound of that bamboo creates when rain is running down the bamboo. Now there's also many varieties of ornamental grasses that grow 5-6 foot tall, and also we have certain grains that we can grow, like a very ancient grain. It's called amaranth. Oftentimes we don't cook with it or anything, but it was used in old times to make flour and also to be popped, similar to a very small popcorn, and that was enjoyed by the Aztecs. Well, that amaranth has a very beautiful color, very vibrant colors, and they bloom for a long period of time, seed out with the grain for a long period of time, and grow to about 5 or 6 foot. So oftentimes that plant rustling around is one of the sounds that we want to enjoy as we're in our healing garden. Now, a lot of our fruit plants and our herbs are plants that we would touch. We would smell, the scent would stay with us. So they are plants that we would like to use too. That would boost our senses.
You know, when you were talking, I couldn't help but think that if I was going to create my healing garden, I think I'd want to stand a bamboo in it. You know, always around the Oriental stuff, you always see stands and things done with bamboo. And I do believe that that's probably got some properties all in itself. Healing prop. Does that make any sense?
Well, bamboo in Midwestern cultures are used in many scenarios. It can be used as food when it's young. Feng Shui gardens is actually one of the elements of wood, and it's the most commonly used element of wood, and it's usually used in water features, and it has some type of symbolical meaning, that stand of bamboo, but I'm not sure what that is.
I was just thinking, with the Oriental gardens and all that, you always see bamboo represented.
Way back in history, it was used as a medical healing, and they were seen in your ancient monasteries. And those monasteries where you talk about the small stones, like river stones, or sand being raked into shapes around different rocks, was used in monasteries, and that was to provide healing. The biggest thing that it does is remove and release that stress. And as we know, more and more that the more and more studies that they do on stress, the more and more they find out that stress is actually killing us.
For sure. Are there any websites that our people might be able to go to look up more on healing gardens, Aaron?
The state of Wyoming. Their state education site has a good article on it. There's not many articles written on it because it's right now considered a healthcare field. But you can look up Feng Shui. In Feng Shui, you'll find some of the old monastery beliefs and remedies coming out. But there are some very small articles written on healing gardens online.
Now, if we look around locally, are there any examples locally of healing gardens?
Well, as we go into our larger hospitals, I would say Cooper Hospital in Camden, Voorhees Hospital certainly has healing gardens in place. Different stones, different rocks, walking stones, different bushes. Certainly has bamboo. Bamboo and river stone will be found in Camden as you enter the hospital, and the same concept that it's a healing garden.
Aaron, is there anything else you'd like to introduce or anything else you'd like to share with us when it comes to healing gardens?
Sure. Going back to one of the big sources that I enjoy going back to is Rosalind Creasy and her edible landscaping book. Many times when we're designing that healing garden and we're talking about different elements as far as taste, sound, sight, what you plant plays a huge role in what I would like to plant more in my healing garden, vegetable and fruit plants. So in my healing garden, I plan on planting blueberries, strawberries, and different types of herbs, which borrow some of that learnt from Rosalinda Creasy. Also, in some of my arbors, I want to plant